That's what you do. You buy these players that cost me and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on, with a smile on his face.
You just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, to the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, every single day, without the truth. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first few episodes, the second series.
We are on the site of the castle.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
Good evening, everyone. Excuse me. I first start off and I got a cough. Make it up because you couldn't script it any better. Anyway, it's Tuesday. It's George Scott night tonight as well. Don't forget the wonderful Mr. Shankly signing, the lost Shankly boy. But we found him. This little group of ours have found him. And what an insight he is as well, getting his expertise. It's as simple as that, with Mr. Scott. But I just want to thank Gap Painting Services for sponsoring the Frank Carlyle show. Every show he sponsors. And Gap Painting Services, listen, these people are fully time served, fully insured, 5-star rating, customer ratings. They're brilliant. If you're an NHS worker, wonderful discount you get. Also, if you're an elderly person, you get another discount, a wonderful discount. And don't struggle with anything. Get these lads in, they're in and out. First class work. Absolutely wonderful. And Gap Painting Services are the sponsors of every show that I do. Every show. The wonderful people. Get them in. Please get them in. And don't struggle, as I said. Anyway, getting back to tonight, I've got some people here, look. Frank Carlyle says, Edward, I'm going to kick your head in if I ever see you. Frank Carlyle. You can make it up, couldn't you? And Copite. Help. You got a new lad here, I don't know, Beluga cat fan. Hi Frank, hi Beluga, hope you're well. And Edward says, the boys, that's right. Georgie and I, the boys. Greetings Frank and the lads on chat, says Marie Stan. Hiya Marie. And he says hello, and Edward's laughing at me. I wouldn't think that, would you? They're laughing. Anyway, I'm going to bring this great man on, George Scott, the lost Shankly. But Shankly, think about this, fella. Think about him. Shankly, Bill Shankly, the fella who built up, laid the foundations of what we have today, signed this wonderful man. And I've got to say hello to the Aiton Fatties. Hiya, John. And he goes, pew. And there he is, Mr. George Scott himself.
Well, thanks for that big build-up, Frank. Thanks for that big build-up. Listen, before I say anything else, how's your young granddaughter doing? That's what I want.
Do you know what? She had to stay off school today. She did it the other night or the other day.
Yeah,
Francine brought her up to older age,
yeah,
and she split her chin right. She just fainted.
yeah. I seen Francine's message. Yeah,
And
must have been traumatic. Must have been traumatic for
yeah,
her. She's okay
but
now, is she? She recovered all right.
well, she had to stay off today because she phoned her mother up. Well, texted her mother yesterday while she was in school. I said, keep her off school. This is like the day after. I said,
Yeah.
keep her off. But she went to school. And
Oh, that's great. That's great. I'm so pleased. Well done. That's
but the thing is, George,
great.
she felt faint yesterday. And she texted her mother. She said, I don't feel right, Mum. Anyway, she kept her up today, but she's a lot better. She's a lot
Great.
better now.
That's
So she's
awesome.
going into school tomorrow, which is
Great.
great,
Great.
We were
So,
all worried,
yeah,
We were all
good.
worried.
That's great.
Thank you so much for asking. Thank
No,
you so much.
worrying.
Really appreciate that. Dino Bryan, Dino. My nerves and arse is gone for tomorrow. Straight into them horrible Reds. Straight into them. And, even Edward says, good intro for George.
Oh, yeah,
I
goodness.
hope I hope you all stay tuned because I'm going to ask George a few questions here about, we have to go back to Sunday. We
Yeah.
have to, no
Yeah.
matter what. So I've got to get George's opinion about everything. So stay with us, please stay with us. And Edward says, good intro for George. Thank you, Edward. He deserves it. And Steve, you never walk alone. Jorginho in the house. Jorginho. Hello, George, says Edward.
Edward.
Maristan, question whether Moyes will set up with deep defence and aim to get a point or risk opening up for our lads to embarrass the Blues. Okay, we'll be talking about that. Murray, stay with us. Snapey, great Scott, it's George. Evening, one and all. Revenge for last season. Hope we battered these, says Yusuf. Hope we battered them. It was poor on Sunday. Even your senior plays were poor. Yeah, you're right, Edwards. I'm going to ask George right away. Trouncing the troglodytes, resulting in truculent toffees, could be tumultuous, says the dictionary corner. Hope the ref doesn't give soft fouls to them like last season, says Yusuf. And Steve, you never walk alone. I'm glad we are out of the FA, and let's KO the see. Yeah, no, let's not get kicked out of there. Please don't say that. Full throttle for the title. I think we could go far in the Champions League and still go on and win the title. George,
Yeah, well,
was a catastrophe.
to say it was a disappointment is an understatement. It was shocking, to be honest. I mean, I'm an old traditionalist about the FA Cup. I love the FA Cup, because at one time it was a dream of everybody to go to Wembley to play in the FA Cup final. Even Shankly said, I know times have changed now, without a doubt, and the managers now have to be much, much more careful. But even though we played a weakened team, when we played a hugely weakened team, left 10 boys behind, we should still have had enough to beat Plymouth. We should still have had enough being Liverpool. They should have enough, and we obviously didn't, because they didn't rise to the occasion. I mean, Plymouth to me looked like a hard worker. I'm not being disrespectful, and all respect to them for winning. And it's great for the city down there, and they had a wonderful time, and it's part of the magic of the cup. But they looked to me like a hard working Sunday League side. I'm sorry, but they were hard working. They chased everything, long balls, and we let the atmosphere get to us. I know the pitch perhaps didn't help, but we had players on there who were internationals, as well as the young lads. I mean, about 6 or 7 of the team we feature regularly in the first team, on and off. And the young lads, I mean, you brought your young lad on, you took him off again. That summed it up, really. I felt sorry for him, made his debut and got dragged off. No, it was shocking. Harvey Elliott, I've always loved Harvey Elliott, I've said in the past, but he was shocking. He really was. He couldn't put two passes together. And what the hell his hands were doing above his head, I don't know. I really don't know, young Harvey. We only started playing, as everybody said, and we saw, in the last 5 minutes. Last 5 minutes, we were pressing and looked like we might get a goal. The rest of the time, it was a non-entity. It was a horrible game to me. Not entertaining, no football, no style, no class, no passion, which is unforgivable for a Liverpool team, in my view. I used to play in the Central League. We played in the Central League for the reserves at Anfield, just like the first team. Same system, same passion, same Shankly enthusiasm. And, I don't know what happened there. Really, it was just a bad day all round, Frank. I think we need to put it behind us now. We've got this huge game coming up tomorrow. And it's history now. It's in the record books. That's the other thing as well. They're all saying, Liverpool, Plymouth beat the greatest team in England and the best team in Europe. It wasn't. It was Liverpool, not quite the reserves, but it wasn't our team in any way, shape or form. All the big boys weren't there. So, they'll be back on Wednesday. And I just think, let's look forward now. Let's get out there tomorrow night and give these boys a bit of a hammering. Show the same passion Everton will show against us, because they will. They'll be up for it. Goodison will be bouncing, as we all know. Last game ever at Goodison before they drift off to the docks. So, we've got a better team, more skill, more striking power, better in every department. But we've got to match their passion tomorrow night. And we mustn't concede a goal. And if we don't concede a goal, I think we'll win. And if we do win, we'll be 9 points ahead of Arsenal, and it's all systems go.
Okay, let's have a. Okay, I totally agree with you there with everything you said. No passion, that was the main thing. We were wearing the badge. Anyone who puts a shirt on has got that badge. You've got the lager bird on the chest.
Yeah.
The thing is, you play for that bird. I felt so sorry. I've always admired, as you know, George, our away fans.
Absolutely. I felt sorry for them.
They were embarrassed. They must have been embarrassed
Absolutely.
by that performance. On
a long journey.
Exactly. Well, anyway, let's see what the lads are saying. I want your opinion on this, George. Okay. And it's Steve. He says, Sunday's result showed the real fans on a zero quality squad depth.
Yeah, I wouldn't say zero quality, but certainly they've got poor quality defense, squad depth beyond the guys we know, beyond the top 15. I would say once you're getting into, we see the talented young lads that we did have been loaned out, like Doak.
Exactly, that's what I exactly.
They would have been. They brought this young kid on, Doherty, talented young lad. Maybe got a good future. Tricky, but it's a hell of a game to bring him on in. That's not the sort of game you want to bring people on in the bouncy pitch, big atmosphere, FA Cup. The squad depth needs to be improved. We all know that, Frank. Needs to be improved. It's going to be the summer now. Nothing happened till the summer. And we've missed the boat, really, as far as boofing up the squad a bit. Injuries, you got Gomez injured again now. We just got to hope and pray.
I've said this, George. People say, look, we've got less injuries this season. You look at who's been injured this season. That's a fallacy, that, to me. That is a fallacy about less injuries like we had under Klopp. It's a fallacy because you look at everybody who's been injured. Yeah. Everybody.
Even Curtis Jones is injured again.
Exactly.
Because he was sat on the bench injured.
Exactly. How long was Jota out for? Twice this season.
Weeks.
It just goes on and on. And Trent's never been injured under Klopp. He was injured. He's been injured.
Chaser might as well have been injured for all he did.
Oh, I told you about him.
He was poor.
Told you about him. Yeah. Let's just see what the lads are saying. Peter May, Peter, he's an entertainer. And he says, those that played against Plymouth did not do themselves any favours.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Aren't only uses his best 14 players. I've always said that. Yes. In most games, these 14 players can't compete for the title. The Champions League, we need to just concentrate on the title. That's what he says. Frank Carlyle, know Frank very well, an old mate of mine. Now, the thing is with Frank, he goes there. They all go to the game. All the hysterical noise about LFC fielding a weak team against Plymouth. Exactly. LFC played 5 full internationals against Plymouth. That's
more than that.
Exactly. These are good comments, by the way. I'm going right down to Dorothy Langan. For me, says Snapey, the big concern is injuries. They'll set out to make it attritional and take yellow cards all game. They are not going out of football. Hang on. They are not going to out football us. Let's have it like, what's that? I can't understand that sentence there. They are the primitive. Peter May. Yeah. Harvey Elliott was better player than Curtis Jones, but not anymore. Curtis, for me, has been streets better. Good comment. I agree there. Yeah. Totally agree with you there, Peter. A similar team to Sunday have got us to the Carabao Cup final. Don't know what happened. Steve says, Gomez Jota rushed back by arm. Why? No quality squad depth. He's spot on. And the lovely Dorothy. As an aunt said, it's unacceptable, except that he chose the team. Blimey. I've never seen such a negative play. Constant back passing, slow. All credit to Plymouth for fighting and defending hard. Such a disappointment, LFC. Need to be knocking them in tomorrow. And
it was almost like they didn't want to win. It's so slow motion.
Well, that's, I was talking to one of the lads at half time, and he said, what's all this passing, with the back, sideways, and then moving forwards? There was no urgency whatsoever. And honestly, he'll tell you if he comes on tonight late. I said to him, I said, I hope these don't score. I said, if these score, we'll struggle to score a goal.
Well, it was because we didn't have a midfield. The midfield was non-existent. They weren't playing any passes through to anybody up front. And that was the problem. Midfield just wasn't there. Didn't have a midfield, really. Compared to Soboslai, McAllister and Gravenberch, it's another planet.
Well, I said, George, always bring 4 players. If you don't want to play them, that's fine.
Yeah.
If we're doing all right on the pitch, but bring 4, 4 of the first team. And I said, we should bring Mo. Mo's a match winner. Mo will get you a goal out of nothing.
He could come on any time, couldn't he? 20 minutes.
Virgil, not sure what I said. Trent, but he was injured, apparently. Yeah. But he wasn't injured. He was fit, because he's fit tomorrow, if you know what I mean. And McAllister or Soboslai, but I opted for Soboslai because he's everywhere, that lad. He's everywhere. He's up and down that pitch, even for only half an hour.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. We disrespected the trophy, really, the cup. It's a huge trophy. You can't just disrespect it. I know we've got to protect our team for the bigger games and bigger targets, but you're right. I think we could have brought a few more down on the bench.
But it's all down to slot. It's as simple as that. It's all down to him. And Youssef says our youth or second choice players can't be trusted. I think that proved it the other day. See, there was no cohesion, George. No. I don't think they knew.
Well, they're not playing together, Frank, are they? They're not playing together. A team used to play together. That team's never played together as an 11 team. So we're all over the place.
They were all over the place.
Our first team played together every week. So the structure, they know what they're doing, they're all together. But that team the other day, they had young lads coming in and out, and they had people in positions. It's just, I don't know what happened. I mean, I don't know whether foreign managers don't understand the FA Cup's quite a big tournament. But, every one of them, not just Slot, they just disrespect it because of the money, because the other things are bigger. Sad.
It is sad. It is. And Steve says, if we don't beat Everton tomorrow, we don't deserve to win the title. Everton are a poor side.
On paper, that's true.
Yeah, there's a stat for you. Chiesa lost the ball 29 times.
Yeah, he really struggled. He looked a bit better, not at the weekend.
Well, as I said, I was talking to Lee, as I said, that we were texting. And I said, do you know what? I said, why did Juve they were made up that he went through the door, to Liverpool.
He was injured, wasn't he?
Very cheap price. And I keep saying that was an appeasement sign for the fans, because we were all saying, why haven't we bought anybody in the summer? Why haven't we bought anybody? Everybody else is buying. And I said that he was an appeasement. He was definitely an appeasement sign because, come on, George. We're coming in next month. Next month is, it's the running.
We've got 5 games in 15 days. 5 games in 15 days. One every 3 days. You can't tell me people aren't going to get injured or they're going to get tired. And the big games as well. They're not Mickey Mouse games. They're all big, every one of them.
He only likes playing small squads. He said that. He's come out and said that. He only likes playing small squads. I don't think he realised the enormity of Liverpool Football Club. He didn't realise. I don't think he did. The amount of cups, the amount of games and everything else that we play. And I don't think the club did either. I'll tell you for why. We blew up on 2 quadruples. We got a lot further than we did.
Yeah, nobody's ever done it, have they? Nobody's ever done it.
And the unfortunate thing is we blew up because there was no investment. And that killed us. There's no investment now. And I just hope that we don't blow up. I'm telling you now. I'm really telling you now.
I think the powers that be tend to think, because we're doing so well, because we're at the top of everything, that we can do it with this team and this squad. And they're resting on the laurels. And I think, they're playing a dangerous game.
Okay. Lost the balls. Can't get over that. Steve's. Excuse me. Mary Stan says to Steve, I don't think Arnie brings the best out of the fringe players. He isn't used to man management at this level. That's their opinion. Dean O'Brien. Dino, I'd rather play against Moyes' Everton than Dyche's. I think Moyes will set up deep, but not 11 men in the 6-yard box like Dyche.
No, they're playing at home. Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't like saying this. This is going to be a hard game, right?
Yep.
Because Everton are going to go at Liverpool. Yep. And I'm talking about physically as well. Yep. They're going to go right at Liverpool physically. And
the crowd will be up. The crowd will be up, right up. Yeah, like we are at Anfield.
Oh, yeah. If anyone goes down, the crowds will be like,
We know what it's like. We've seen enough derbies, haven't we?
I know what it's like.
Played in them in the reserve team. Even that was bad enough.
And Dorothy said, I wondered where Dan's was. Yeah, he was sent out on loan. I went mad. I was talking last week. Why did he go out on loan?
Went to Sunderland, yep.
I know. There's Bacic.
Yeah, he's up for his foreign cures. Yep. Those lads that won the Carabao Cup last year, they was one of those. They've all gone, haven't they? All those young lads that came on in the Carabao Cup final, the Klopp was so proud of. There's none of them left, I think, apart from.
And there's, Joe, tearing up the championship.
It's the best player in the championship. Yeah, he is.
And we've kept players, Look, I watched the under-21s and whatever. I watched them, and to me, there's a couple that stand out. But I look and I go, you know, I'm sorry, but it's a weak future. What I've been looking at, and I'm not just saying that, I've been saying that for a
I
while.
think O'Connell seems the only one that looks half decent.
He was terrible then.
He was terrible at the weekend, but he's had a few
He
good games.
was shocking. And I
Missed
said,
his-
I've got to be honest with you, George. I said after that game, all the hype about him, I think he proved something myself.
Yeah,
Anyway,
hard to judge him on one game though, Frank, and it's hard to judge a lad on one game. You know, you got to look over the period.
No, but
He's
you
young.
know, I have seen him before, you know, George, and there's a load of hype about him. There's a load of hype. You know, and I always remember the hype about that young Woodburn. And I said,
Ben
he's not
Woodburn,
going to make it. A load of hype about that, what was his name? Brewster. He was awful, eh?
Yes,
And
you're right.
this is what I'm saying about overhyping players.
Yeah, they should.
You know, there's lads who have gone away. I do hype up young Dans. I do hype up him because you can see that he's going to be a great footballer.
But he proved it on the pitch, didn't he? He scored in key games. Scored against Forest. Scored in the European. He scored. So he's
and we
done.
sent him out on loan. He would have been ideal for that game.
I don't understand that one.
He would have been ideal for that game.
Yeah, you got to.
If he'd have got the ball, that is.
It's no good putting him in and taking him out and putting him in and taking him out. If you've got the talent, give him a bit of a few games, you know. Even on a bench.
Exactly. Elmo James. They are going through the motions, told to steer clear of getting injured, especially with them. Plymouth, the hard dogs at the back. Point is, there was no one there to.
That could be right, actually. A lot of them pulling out.
You know, the lads were sitting at home watching us on the telly. You know, so, you know, you can't really say, you know, all the lads, no first team players were playing.
Yeah, who do you have? You had Tsimikas, you had Nunes came on, you had Jota. That's about it, isn't it? Who else?
Yeah, that's it. You can't call
Elliot now and again.
Player. He hasn't played.
About 4 or 5.
Yeah. Anyway, George said summer, new signings. George has been,
No, what I said is if we're going to have new signings, it can only be in the summer because the January window is history. So if we're going to have signings, then it's going to be in the summer. Now, none of us know whether we're going to have signings or not. At the moment, we're fighting for the title. That's the most important thing. Nothing we can do about it, really, can we? Nothing we can do at the moment.
No.
It's beyond our remit. We have to wait now until the end of the year and hope we've got enough to do it. That's all we can do. Still top of the league, by 6 points.
Well, that's it. See, this
Don't
is
get too negative.
This derby game tomorrow is pivotal. It really is, and I'll tell you for why.
Sorry, Frank, go on.
PSV, we got beat by them. Nice, let me money yet. Then we get beat again. And if we get beat tomorrow, it could knock our confidence,
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely vital. We don't get beat tomorrow. Absolutely vital. And we all know that. And the players will know that as well.
Well, this is it, Well, let's show.
All I'll say is at the start of the season, none of us, and I guarantee it, none of us expected to be where we are now at the moment. So we've got to look at that as well. I never thought we'd be 6 points clear after Christmas into January with a game in hand. So, I mean, we've got to be critical. We've definitely got to be critical. But we've got to keep a sense of perspective, I think, as well.
Of course, you can't.
The game was terrible at the weekend, but let's look at this one tomorrow and let's see what happens there.
You can't just say that, like, oh, look where we are, we didn't expect where we are. We are where we are.
We are, yeah, we are.
We are where we are. And, put everything in perspective. As you said, we're doing great. But
we've still
we've got to consolidate tomorrow night, George.
100%.
We have to go out. It's no use drawing either. We should go out and beat them. As one of the lads said there, that are very poor side.
Look at the league table. Look, it doesn't lie, does it? Look where they are. They're not a good
doesn't
side.
lie.
They're not a
It
strong
doesn't
side.
lie. They're always struggling.
Yeah, yeah.
No
We'll be out there. The
disrespect.
boys will be out there fighting tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure about that. Our boys will be up for it.
But Murray Stan says, which is a good comment actually, really needs a good referee tomorrow night, but I can't remember the last time I saw one of those. And she's right.
He's right.
A
Yeah.
good referee. And Dorothy says, the main problem for me was the team against Plymouth looked like they never played together. This is what George said, and I've said, and everybody else said. So you really have to look at what Slot did that game.
Yeah.
To me, he didn't have a system.
It was bad management. It was bad because you threw players together, just threw them on the pitch together. I don't think there was much structure to the game. To the team.
Do you remember when Klopp was manager and, he was playing the kids? You looked at the bench and you had the likes of Mo Salah on and Virgil and everybody else.
Exactly. That's what we should have done. Yeah. We had no fallback position, didn't we? We had no fallback. He had to bring on a young lad who never made a two guys. It was their debut. He brought them on. Yeah. He took off.
Yeah.
After bringing them on.
That young lad, Amala or whatever his name was, he came on. He was terrible.
He got himself booked for nothing. Kicked the ball away.
Exactly, which was naivety. And Naomi didn't do himself any favours either.
He didn't do nothing.
He's awful.
He's only a kid right enough, but he didn't do nothing.
And Mary Stan says, Youssef, don't forget our youth and stroke French players virtually won the League Cup last season. And they did because they had the loads on the bench.
It wasn't these youths.
Is Arn rootless when calling the squad this summer, or is he another Rodgers 2.0?
No, he's not a Rodgers 2.0. Come on.
FSG, yes, man. But,
come on.
Elliot playing basketball in the penalty area with the ball, shocking.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That was pathetic.
Ridiculous.
That was an argument the referee. I only put my hands up. What for? So should have selected. Anyway, no cohesion, creativity, or indeed craft. Quansar's lack of control on several occasions was wanting.
Yeah, I've got my doubts.
And that's coming from Dorothy.
Future Anfield.
That's coming from Dorothy, and she was spot on. Quansar.
Cheers. Yeah, I agree.
He was shocking. And Peter May, I don't know what you make of Núñez, but for me, he's not a Liverpool player. Sign his sack from Newcastle.
Well, I wish we could.
You know what, Peter, we've been saying all along about players, and Isak's come up. People have said, why don't we go for him? We get nobody.
I can't see them going.
To a podder, I think he was American, and he went, we've got a war chest for next year. How does he know? And that's annoying. We've got a war chest of 250 million. This is the fucking American in America who's never been to Anfield, and he's going, and these are the players that are being sold. These are the players that are coming in. I thought,
but Liverpool should be signing Isak. That's the quality of player that this club should be signing. We're the top team in the country. We're the most famous club in the country, along with United. And, we should be signing players like Isak. We should have the money and the wherewithal and the passion to do it. It's the only way we'll really go forward. Nobody's signing people like Chase at 11 million. You've got to go for the big players.
I'm sorry for swearing, people. Dorothy, I'm sorry, honestly, but
ladies are listening, Frank. Yeah,
it's the with people. God, blimey! The likes of Dino and Dorothy and Steve and Mary and Peter. They know more than him, and he's saying this is who we're going to get. This is who's going.
Nobody knows, really. That's the point. Nobody knows.
Exactly. And Dino says using 14 to 16 players is why going out of the cup will be a blessing in disguise. We now get 2 free weekends next month, the same as Arsenal, which will keep us fresher. Last season, we went deep into every comp and paid the price with the same squad of players.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there is some truth in that. But, the bottom line is our team, I keep saying it, is a team that routed Spurs. Everybody was raving last week.
Yeah.
Everybody was raving about the most wonderful performance, And just because we lost to Plymouth with a bum second team, nothing's changed. We'll hopefully do the same to everyone we did to Spurs. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. This is what we hope. And, it is a totally different mindset.
And our boys are used to big games. They're used to big games, aren't they? The Van Dijks and they guys, it doesn't hold no fear for them going out at Goodison Park, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
They'll love it.
But I don't like getting beat, George. And I don't like getting beat by Plymouth guys.
You've got to be a winner.
I'm not interested, in excuses. I don't like excuses on any level.
Shank said first is first and second's nowhere.
Exactly.
You've got to win. It's all about winning trophies.
Precisely.
That's how Slot will be judged. That's how we'll be judged. Winning trophies.
Plymouth Argyle, they're getting beat the bottom of their league. No. And they're leaking goals week in, week out.
Tranmere Rovers to give them a game.
There you go. I think you better hit it in a nutshell there.
Yeah, the midfield, you're right, Steve.
George is right. The midfield was poor. No service to the attackers, says Steve. You like that, Steve. And true about midfield, but also would expect the likes of Chiesa and Lucho to get past their fullbacks.
Yes.
Didn't happen. And that's right. Diaz.
Yeah, he was
watching I forget what match it was. At Brentford.
I don't know what it was.
He was brilliant against Brentford when he scored a cracker. And you look and go, wow. And even Leverkusen, when he scored a brace.
Yes.
It was great. Or was it an hat-trick? I don't know. But he was brilliant. You know what I mean? And he's playing against Plymouth. And all I've seen him doing was running from one side of the pitch to the other with the ball and nothing happening in front of him.
Yeah, exactly. Going square all the time.
Shocking.
He missed a couple of sitters at the end as well.
And the Elmo says, hang on. Peter May, and let Trent go. There's no disputing his set pieces and going forward, but he cannot defend. Play the ball in behind him, and he's lost. As a defender, primarily, you have to defend. We need to move forward with Bradley. I want Bradley to play tomorrow because he does.
Yes, in that sort of a game, he'd be made for him. It's a battle. He'd be made for him. Yeah, they're two different players, aren't they? Completely different stylish players. I love Bradley. He's going to be a star of the future.
Of course. I think he's a little bit of a star now, to be honest, because...
Yeah, but a big star. I think he's going to be international.
He tackles.
Yeah.
He can pass the ball as well.
Yeah, he attacks down the wing. He attacks. He's had a few chances of goals.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you're right there, George. It says this game is made for him. It really is. For young Bradley tomorrow night. He'll get stuck in. He'll have no fear. If anyone's bobbing down the thing, he'll be stuck right in.
Yeah. He had no fear with Mbappe, did he?
No. And Elmo says, McConnell, Elliott and Naoni, what do you expect? Miracles, exactly.
That's a good point, yeah. You're right.
Well, I said that, honestly, I really did. When I looked at that remember when I've always said, what midfield are we picking? I've said it right through the season to you, George. What midfield are you going to have? You know what I mean? And we've always picked because we need a strong midfield.
Heart
And
of
when
the
I
team,
seen that midfield, I thought, no chance.
which just didn't have that.
And there's, I was sitting there watching us on the telly, as you do, and I'm going, I wanted Elliot dragged off for the second half.
He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't involved.
And there's the other fella sitting on the bench, Curtis Jones.
He was injured, wasn't he? He was injured.
Exactly, and that was my point. What I was coming to.
I don't know what he was doing.
Why have him on the bench?
Unless he got injured in the morning. Unless he was injured in the morning or something.
But you wouldn't have him on the bench, though, George.
No, he shouldn't be on the bench if he wasn't able to play. That was crazy.
I think it was pathetic. I think he was trying. I think he was injured and he had no intention of playing him. But it's just like, oh well, there's a first teamer on the bench trying to frighten the Plymouth Argyle lads and giving us a bit of a appeasement again.
Only him and Nunes. That was all, two of them.
Two of them. And Snapey says, the truth is, the FA Cup lost its lustre. So, yeah, I remember that about Man United. I've said all that. Yeah. But it's not the point, Stephen. It really isn't the point. We're in a competition. We're playing a very lowly championship, well, bottom of the league championship. That's let goals in willy-nilly all season. They come up against us. We should have beat them.
Yes.
We should have beat them. And we should have had players, big players, on the bench just in case. We never did. So everything goes down to Slot. No excuses. No excuses.
Manager takes the brunt of everything, good and bad, doesn't he? Gets praised when he does well. He should be criticised when he does bad. Yeah.
If I want to criticise, I'll criticise. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Opinions. That's what we're here for, isn't it, Frank? Tell it as it is.
If you can't like
criticize. What to criticise if a team like Liverpool lose to Plymouth? I mean, come on, it's self-evident, isn't it? No way should we lose to Liverpool. No matter what team we put out, we really shouldn't lose at Liverpool to Plymouth. Right, and it gives all the other fans a chance to laugh at us, make silly jokes on the internet, And it's not right because Plymouth didn't beat the great Liverpool. They beat a Liverpool team which was picked from young lads.
It's the name. It's the name Liverpool.
But the record books doesn't.
Exactly. The record books don't lie either.
Liverpool 0.
Exactly.
And the boys will live on that for years. Those kids.
Yeah.
Guy to the penalty. Quite right too.
It's not like we beat a second team or anyway. Yusuf Tabaristan. True. I guess Klopp knew how to use a squad better than Slot. There you go. And Dino says the focal point of Slot's team and system is his midfield double pivot. There was nothing in midfield, which is why we lack cohesion. Like I've said previously, and I know you disagree, Frank, but in the context of our season, there's far bigger fish to fry. We know that.
You can't disagree with that.
You know that, do you know? No one's arguing, but yeah. See, it's all about opinions. No one's falling out with anyone.
No.
It's all about opinions. And unfortunately, I'd love you, Dino, if you ever want to come on the show, like George there, have you on? Have you on? Saying what you mean to say and things rather than typing us out.
The Premier League's the one, isn't it? That's the holy truth.
Yes, and this is why it's so important tomorrow.
It is,
George. Why it's so important.
Huge.
You know what I got myself, George?
What?
Cocoa. I bought myself some cocoa.
I'm going to get commission. I'm going to get commission from the cocoa producers.
The lad's saying George is going for his cocoa. Do you know when you go for it?
You sell a lettuce and sales are up 50%. Sold 2 jars.
Well, I said to Francie, she was coming down to see me. I said, "Hey, Francie, will you get me some cocoa?" She went, "All right, Dad." I said, "No, get me some." She thought it was meant. We got some. But he's up with it. It's great.
I want to tell the lads on the chat, that I was at a fantastic place yesterday. I think I
Go
may have
on.
told you, but the Reds, it's just by Moorfield Station, Exchange Street East. Fantastic. It's got all the memorabilia, Kenny Dalglish photographs, shirts,
All right.
pictures. It's wonderful. What a fantastic place. Went there with the two lads that are on it, with Taj Hairsted. And if anybody comes to Liverpool or before a match or they want to get their neck in there,
Go there, yeah.
it's easy to find right off by the
Yeah,
station,
right
right
in the
where you
middle of
live. It's
town.
only about a mile from your house. So
Yeah,
you need to
that's
get
right.
down there. If you can get
That's
there,
right.
get Francine take you down. It's beautiful. You'd be made
It's like
welcome
the
there.
door to the town hall, isn't it?
That's it, just across. Yeah, well, yeah, not far from there. Not far from there. Yeah.
Exchange East. Yeah. But anyway, Steve says, Frank, George, John Barnes on Sport Pod the other day saying we don't need signings. If the right player is not available, then no other player should be signed. Barnes.
Well, the thing about that, and one thing I agree with there, has got to be the right player. It's no good just spending a lot of money for the wrong player. A lot of our clubs have come. Man United have been caught cold on that a few times, paying 80 million for dud players. That's where I don't know whether our scouts are good enough, but we need somebody that can spot somebody who will fit into the culture of the club and will produce results. No good just signing somebody with. You talk about Nkapi. I agree with that. Somebody like him, that quality. Those are the
That's
sort
what
of
we
guys
need,
we bring in.
George. That's what we need. Quality like him.
Quality, yeah, it's all about quality.
Well, it's no use
Culture,
getting
the way to fit in the club.
18-year-olds or 17-year-olds or 18 with potential.
Yeah, you
That,
can't get
90% doesn't work out.
That's exactly. You're
You
probably
know,
right
I'm
there.
fed up with all this.
Established.
Anyway, I'll tell you what, we forget about the Argyle game.
I think you should consign that to the bin because that's where it belongs.
Let's finish with it now, and let's talk about tomorrow. And I'm going, George, I'm going to put you right in it. And we know how diabolical the midfield was, right? So there's really no depth within our thing, our midfield. Right, so who would you have tomorrow in midfield?
Well, I think it picks itself, Frank, for me. Szoboszlai, McAllister and Gravenberch.
That's it, isn't it?
That's it, as far as I'm concerned, That's the
very
three.
Strong midfield.
Even if Curtis is fit, I wouldn't play Curtis ahead of any of them three. I certainly wouldn't play Harvey Elliott unless he comes on the pitch.
Curtis is great coming on, He
great
really
coming on,
is.
Great coming
or
on.
Even if one of them's not playing, Curtis is good. I love the way.
Depends how the game's going. Even Endo can do a job. If it depends on the game, because he's a bit of a little warrior, and it'll be a bit of a fight. But certainly to start the game, there's no doubt in my mind. There's got to be them three quality players, world class players, better than Evans got by a mile. Honestly.
Yes, absolutely, totally agree. And Barry Stan says the League Cup becomes more attractive to win because less rounds and early final doesn't clash with final rounds of Premier and York. That's a very good point. Very good point. And the Edward says need to be at least 6 points clear at the final, and then the run comes the last 2 months.
Yeah, we've got to maintain the gap with Arsenal.
Absolutely. King. And the King, even in Frank and George, even in King.
Even in Charles.
How many derbies has Moyes won? He has a poor record against us, says Yusuf. You're right.
Poor record against everybody.
Yeah. I'm going to go right down, lads. There's Christopher. He's just saying, hi, Frank and George and everyone. I've already forgot about the FA Cup this year. Roll on tomorrow.
Well done. Yes.
And the 16th. Yeah.
History. Can't get it back.
The King says here, look, Battistich is injured.
Oh, I'll tell you what. That's incredible. What is he, 19? Christ.
Yeah. And the Anfield Road.
Hey. Yo, whiskey's there on for your roll, lad. Love it. Thanks on
How many
Coco.
times on Clock Watch where we top of the league and did not win the title due to lack of quality signings in the January window?
Do you know, Steve, nobody's going to disagree with that. You're spot on. You're absolutely spot on. It's self-evident, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. If I miss some comments out, it's not through any fault. It's just like Dorothy Langham, for example. I think Gapco just got the trophy for Player of the Month. Mo took it very graciously.
Yeah, well, I think he should actually, because he scored in the last 8 games, hasn't he?
And the outfield, you know, I must say, I'm annoyed at how the defeat in the media and on pods have brushed that terrible performance under the carpet. I was disgusted in the effort. I'm not. Oh, well, Glasgow are out of that anyway. That's what he says. Basically, that's what he says. So let's move on, lads. Forget about Saturday.
Yeah, we've hammered it, haven't we?
Saturday. Let's go right down. Just going right down. Right down and go. Let's see what Snapey says. We can procrastinate till we're blue in the face. FSG's fragility and all pervading while they hold the purse strings. Ali and Virgil were only bought with the Coutinho money. Yes.
Correct.
Yes, you're right there. Spot on. Going right down again. Dorothy, she's talking to. I'll take your point. However, many fans believe it's disrespectful to not, and she's emphasised not, place greater value upon this and the sad history of the 97. I know Jenny Hicks has been vocal about this. I don't know what they're talking about, to be honest. Sorry about that. This might sound like a stupid question, says Peter, but the best defender out of Hippier and Van Dijk, they both have different strengths, but I don't think I've seen Hippier lose a header. Hippier slower than Van Dijk, but compare them and the Liverpool teams they were in. Van Dijk is the best centre-half I've ever seen, to be well, that's my opinion.
Both great players, but Van Dijk, but Van Dijk is the best I've seen as well, to be honest.
IBR. Hello, John Franco Carlino and Giorgino Scottino.
There you go.
Scottino.
I should have changed my name to that. I might have made.
You never know, George.
Would have been a nice chant, wasn't it? Scottino.
Giorgino Scottino.
Oh, that would have been a headline, wouldn't it?
Scottino.
I remember one headline when we played for Tamir again. I think it was Port Vale or somebody. We won 5-0. And the headline was, "Great Scott, it's a joy night." That was the headline. Beat them 5-0.
Great Scott, it's a joy night. Well, that's Mary Stan says, Peter May, it's about using the best of trends. You don't itch up a race course to a wagon. Do you mean the race course?
Trent's brilliant.
The race course to a wagon. Trent is world class. Connors should play the thread role. Yes, Trent should be midfielder. Alfredo, can I also throw my hat behind Elliott and Nunes, both being in the flatter to deceive squad? Got Kwanzaa edging in there next. Yeah, if not careful.
Last weekend, yes.
He's had a bad season so far as Kwanzaa when I've seen him. No one can deny that. IBR says, I think last Sunday highlighted how over-reliant we are on Mo and Virgil, 100%.
Yeah, but not just them, the midfield boys as well.
And Steve says, Frank George, you are manager of LFC this season. You have only 14 to 15 players you trust. What trophy is your number one priority? You know you can't win 3-4 trophies with 14 or 15 players.
Well, you want to win them all, but the Premier League is that for me is the one to put us on 20 Premier Leagues alongside United. I mean, and to win the Premier League is that's the best team in the year in our own league, which is the best league in the world. Obviously, the Champions League would be next to me. I'd love to win the Champions
League.
I love the Champions League. A bit more difficult, I think, that with some of the teams. But we should have every chance. But the Premier League, I just can't wait to see the parade if we win the Premier League, because it would be the biggest parade in history.
It would be.
Sure. It would be huge. Because we didn't get one last time.
No, and it would be. You know, I still think we'll win the league, by the way.
Yeah.
I still think we'll win the league.
Well, it's in our own hands, Frank, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point, that though, Steve, you know, and it's the Premiership.
I mean, nobody's ever won the quad, have they? Nobody's won the quad. It's almost impossible with the amount of games you have to play.
But we've nearly done it twice.
Yeah, but so did Arsenal years ago, and so did City. Nobody's done it though, Frank.
Yeah. IBR, Giorgini could be the face of Coke.
The Cocoa Kid. The Cocoa Kid. That's a great drink. I love my cocoa.
The Liverpool FC Lancaster Bomber, up the Reds. I don't know. I've never seen this one. The Bomber. That's a
Lancaster Bomber.
Go and bomb the Blues tomorrow. That'll be a good one there.
Yeah.
Liverpool FC Lancaster Bomber.
Brilliant title, that.
That's a crack. George, when Shanks could not sign as number one target, did Shanks go for an option? Yeah, that's entirely your question.
Yeah, he was after Dennis Law, wouldn't he? He settled for Ian St. John.
That's brilliant.
That was a brilliant signing. One of the best signings Liverpool ever made, Ian St. John. He's the one who kicked his head.
Yeah, but so, you know, you just mentioned the player there. But when he signed both the Saints and Big Rob,
yeah, that started it off.
Spine. We already had Tommy, didn't we, in goal?
Tommy Lawrence, yeah.
There was the spine.
And he bought Thompson in the wing and Callaghan. Chris Callaghan played for 17 years in the first team, 847 appearances. I don't think he was ever booked, and I don't think he was ever sent off.
No,
nobody will ever get near that 840. So
no
years
well, Carragher's second, isn't he? With 7
yeah. He was regular, wasn't he? Yeah. But you know, there was no substitutes then, so I mean, a lot of, you know, as long as you kept clear of injury. People used to say Shankly used to say, if you ever think why I drop you, why you're out the side, he said, if you ever worry about why you're out the side, he said, ask Ian Callaghan. He says, because he never has a bad game. It's true, he never had a bad game.
Do you know what? You're right there. And, you know, he did come out, didn't he? You know, one of the lads saying there, as a priority this season, what you want, you know, there's only one trophy to be won. We all say the Premiership. Point is, didn't Shanks turn around and say that was it Bob? I don't know. It's our bread and butter. You know, the league is the bread and butter.
He did.
And Peter May says, totally agree with George's starting midfield of Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and McAllister. IBR. Frank is the face of Plymouth Carlyle. I pinched that joke from a fellow user, but I really like that one. The face of Plymouth Carlyle.
Must have got a green jersey on.
And as the IBR says, very well buying the right player, but we identify one player and have no plan they leaving that position still needing an upgrade. Cracking comments.
Well, this is a job of Edwards and Hughes and Ward. That's what they should be doing. That's what they're paid for. Trouble is, we don't know what they're doing.
Having a clue. Having a clue.
Nobody knows. Because you never hear any statements coming out. Club never makes a statement about it. We don't know what's happening with the contracts.
I remember our Francine saying to me, she said, Dad, you know what? Robbie Fowler said that he's heard that they've signed, 2 players have signed a contract. And I said to her, take no notice. Take no notice of Robbie Fowler. Because the first thing, if a journalist got hold of it, that Mo Salah, for example, had signed, that'll be the headlines.
Absolutely.
That'll be the headlines. Liverpool, Mo signs his contract, staying another 2 years at Liverpool, or Virgil. That'll be headlines. Take no notice of what you hear. And I was listening to David Lynch, and yesterday, and he said, you know, to the contrary of what, you know, people are saying about Virgil and Mo Salah signing the contracts, it hasn't happened. That's what he said. It hasn't happened.
I'd only believe it if I saw a picture of him signing it.
Steve says tomorrow starting 11: Becker, Bradley, Canate, Virgil, Robbo, Ryan, Mac, Mo, Dom, Gapco, Nunes, he puts there. And we win 4-0. Everton will attack us. That will suit our attack.
Be happy with that result. Bloody hell.
And Snapey says, personally, I wouldn't risk Curtis to start tomorrow simply because he said he had a knock at the weekend. As an impact sub, perhaps, but like George says, the midfield picks itself for tomorrow. Point is as well, Steve, I wouldn't play, and I mean this, I wouldn't play Trent for 2 reasons. One, he's just come back from injury. All right, he's fit now, but he's just come back. And these are going to be physical. I don't care what anyone says. They're going to be physical. So I wouldn't put him in that, you know, tomorrow's game. But I'd rather play Bradley because the lad gets stuck in.
Yeah.
And he can take a knock. The lad does get... That's another lad who was injured. You know what I was saying about the fallacy of under Slot, no players get injured. They do. McAllister's been injured. So Bosley's been in. They've all been injured.
Yeah, oh, short
but, you know, they haven't been out all at once, if you know what I mean. Like Jürgen under Jürgen, you know, 2 or 3 players were injured all at once. Anyway. The Copite says, 1 city, 2 teams, 1 last dance at Flutterson Park. Flutterson, I like that. I'll have to say what goes right through with Dino. Anfield. Slot can either have Paisley season or he can have a Roy Hodgson season. Well, that's what it boils down to, doesn't it, really? That's
well, the standards have been set now, so he has to win a trophy. He has to win the League or the European Cup, because if he wins nothing this year, it's not going to be good.
It won't be good for him.
All you have is a top 4. That's not good enough just to get it. Not after the start we've had, not after where we are now, with about 2 months or 3 months of the season to go. I mean, top 4 would be good, but not good enough.
Yeah, Dino says, I'd love to come on, mate. I can talk about the Reds 24/7, even in my sleep.
There you go. Get on there, Dino.
Absolutely. So, but we'll have to get Dino. Just send me your email. Not now, you know, but send me your email and we'll have you on at some point. Not tonight, unfortunately.
One of a Thursday night, yeah.
Yeah, or, you know, whenever, because I'll be doing, like, lots of pods. I'm concentrating on football, especially with the running and Champions League and everything, you know. And especially with... I'll be doing a watch-along, George.
Oh, that's good, yeah. They're brilliant, aren't they? Some good ones, yeah. That would be great. Yeah.
A watch-along.
You tune in. tune in and watch. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Jason to sort everything out because I'm useless, George. You know what I mean? Absolutely useless. But anyway, Dino says win the Premier League and no one will care less about losing to Plymouth.
Of course.
I think we're now, to be honest, we forgot about it now, But you've got to give credit where credit's due with the criticism because we were angry of the performance, so that's why we're all criticising. So that's forgotten now. And then we're going to concentrate on tomorrow, as you know, anyway. And Dino says, Van Dijk is levels above Ipia. Don't get me wrong, Sammy was great and especially only costing 2.5 mil, but Virgil is a different.
Yes, you're right.
Totally agree with you. Honestly, totally agree with you. And Peter says, fair comment. They're all lovely. They're all happy.
I don't know which comment he's referring to.
We're all happy again anyway. And Mary stays, I go for Ali, Connor, Ibu, Virgil, Robbo, Macca, Ryan, Dom, Cody, Darwin, and Mo. Why are they
Cody? Gakpo and Mo definitely, because Gakpo's been playing well. He's looking dangerous. Darwin, it's a risk. It's a risk. He could be a hero. He could be a hero.
I don't know whether you'll agree with me.
What's the effort in?
Well, I'd rather have Jota than Darwin, and I'll tell you for why. Jota seems to play well, always well against Everton.
That's true.
It's true. Scores.
Yeah.
He always seems, So, if anyone, rather Darwin or Jota, I'd go for little Diogo.
He's had some minutes in the week. I know he didn't play well, but he got 90 minutes. I know he got half a game in, didn't he? So, he might be in good shape for the Everton game. Certainly a goal scorer.
I seen him running back because he couldn't get the ball. And he was running back to get the ball.
He's quick. He's quick running with the ball, Frank. I noticed when he's running with the ball, he's quick.
He's very quick.
Slow.
The Anfield Road, Van Dijk is better because he has been the best 11. He's been in the best 11 in the world. Yeah. This year could be 4 times. Hoopy, a wonderful lad, but he was slower than Jan Molby and Harry Maguire.
Oh, Sammy was good, though. Sammy was good. Harry Maguire said he go the offside.
I was watching, 2 games there. I was watching when we beat them 5-0. I was watching it today. Only the highlights, that is. Maguire. When we beat them 5-0 up there.
And 7-0.
And you see Maguire, and he's all you see him is doing that. He's got one of those like
a hang down face.
What happened there sort of face, Steve says, George, we win the quad. If Cheap Broke FSG sign Klopp and 3, he's saying if they allow Klopp to sign 3 qualities and Arne
I'm not saying you're wrong, Steve. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I think to win the quad is something that, it's just so hard to do, whatever team you got.
And Mary Stan says, I think we should lay off the Gerald stick. I think Arnie is a decent coach, but isn't a top manager. But we need this. We need it. I'm not getting into that, to be honest. I'm not criticising Slot in any way.
No, because we can't really criticise him too much where he is at the moment.
No. Well, that's what I mean. We're top of the league. We're top of the Champions League. We're in the final of, this Caribou Cup thing.
That's the way I
So
look
we're
at
in
it.
the final there. We can't criticise, really.
Yeah. No, other than that one game, which was, let's look at the game again tomorrow, start from fresh.
Exactly. And Dorothy says, I have settled for, what's that? Saying any day. I think there's a predictive text there.
Yeah,
God bless Dennis. It was a
absolutely.
funeral today. What a
My
lovely
old-time
man.
idol. Love the man.
Well, I said to you, didn't I? And I tried to give like an example where no matter what genre of music you like, whether it's heavy metal or whether it's classical or whether it's pop or whether it's anything, jazz or anything, everybody loved Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
For some reason, they all loved Johnny Cash, no matter what team you supported. Throughout the land, everybody liked.
If you love football, you got to love Dennis Law.
Exactly.
His style, panache, no matter who he played for. Forget about Man United and all that. He's a footballer, and he just looked the part. Scotland, I loved him playing for Scotland, being Scottish. He was one of our greatest, if not the greatest, apart from Kenny, one of the greatest players ever outside the country. And I knew him well, fellow Aberdonian, fellow Scot, fellow Shankly player. And everything about him for me was just class. As a person off the pitch, dealing with Dennis quite a bit after we both finished playing football, and he was always wonderful to me. And I was a nobody compared to him, but you would never have known it.
What did he think of Liverpool anyway?
He loved Liverpool, he loved Liverpool because of Shankly. I never had Dennis ever, have a go at Liverpool. Never. When I was with him, and he knew I was an ex-Liverpool player. He knew I was a Liverpool fan, and we had a good banter about it. And in fact, he criticised United more because they refused to take him home on the plane from Plymouth. Actually, because he was a member of the press, and he said to me, "I thought that was a bit wrong." He said, "Tommy Docherty, I think it was. He wouldn't let him on the plane. You had to drive back all the way to Wigan to a meeting at Francis Lee's factory." And he told me all about this, and he said, "What do you think about that, Georgie?" I said, "Well, you did relegate them, Dennis, So he didn't laugh. He didn't like talking about that, relegated them,
No, well, I don't think many people, no disrespect to Tommy Docherty, but there's not many people who liked him, to be honest.
No, he was an old, like Allardyce. He was one of them, those managers, the big flashy Malcolm Allison and all them people, flashy coats and sheepskin coats and, like Shankly. Shankly was a real person.
Yeah. But as I said, we all loved Dennis the Menace.
We should play for Liverpool, Frank. I really do. What would have been a joy.
Every Liverpool supporter who I knew at the time, he was playing. That's who we said love him to be playing for us.
Yeah, him and Shankly together at Liverpool. Bloody hell. God bless him. Rest in peace.
The Anfield, rest in peace. Dennis the Menace. The Anfield, Frank and George, do you fellas agree it is worrying lack of cohesion under the starting 11? I think in Klopp's era, fellas like Shaqiri and Origi made differences when given the opportunity. Yeah, I totally agree with that, to be honest.
Yeah, Origi was amazing when he came on. He scored lots of vital goals.
Especially Origi. He was incredible, eh?
We've had some good substitutions this year, though, as well.
Yeah.
You've turned games around.
I think in recent events, only highlights, says the Anfield Raw, were literally an injury or two of being spares. This is my concern with the summer looming. Is there more bad news in store?
Cheer up, Anfield.
Well, we have to wait. We have to wait for this season.
Exactly.
No matter how, what Klopp left us, we still said in the summer that we needed investment in players, top quality players. We even said it in the January. We need top quality players. coming in, leading up to January, because we got nothing in the summer. But I know people say about Chiesa, but he hasn't played. Let's be honest, George. He hasn't.
No,
He hasn't
he's done nothing really, has he? Since he came here.
So we're just playing the same players in,
2 games,
constantly, and that's why we needed investment. If we would have bought 2 players, say like Incapi, for example, that would have been made up. Right? Now in the January window, we've got some, and that would have given me a lift.
Big
and
lift.
Another player, say like, I'm just going to pick this name out here, like Zubamendi for the midfield as well.
Yes.
And that would have pushed us for everything, to be honest.
Gives everybody a lift. Gives the fans a lift.
Yeah.
And the team a lift.
And Steve says, George saying Shanks wanted Law as number 1 target. He joins United. Then Shanks went to option 2, Ian St. John. FSG go for Zubamendi, number 1 target. He wants to stay. Where was FSG target?
Well, there wasn't one. That's the answer to that.
The thing is, that was all pre-planned, because we were going after him. And he said, see, listen, you've got to understand this. If you were a player, Steve, and I was a player, and George a player, and all of a sudden a massive club comes after you, and I'm talking the best British club and historically as well in the Premiership, and they come after you, you're not getting sold. They're coming in with stupid offers like installments and everything. Now, you've got to go back to your fans. You've got to go back, because if you went back and they're saying he wanted to go to Liverpool, sod off you, because fans are fans all over the world. We've all got the passion.
Yeah.
We've all got the passion. It's like anything. You've only got to look at Michael Owen when he went to Manchester United.
Yes.
He's ostracised by most Liverpool fans. So you could imagine the likes of Zubamendi. He can't go back to that, his team, like his club, and he's got the fans. They'll be on his back. That's why he came out and said, I wanted to stay. He's not to say that. He's not to say that.
It was like when we went. Remember when we went for Casado and the other guy from Brighton? 100 million was supposed to pay. That was all. Never going to happen, was it? We were never going to pay 100 million for Casado and another 40 million for the other lad. Forget his name now. The Chelsea boy. They're both at Chelsea now, aren't they? But,
Bellingham. It's like Bellingham.
Yep.
He was supposed to be coming here. His family were here, getting shown around and everything.
Yeah.
Something
We're
like
not going to do.
Not paying the money, and this is what.
No, you're right.
And the Anfield says, are players like Chiesa being bought for reasonings? Yes, I've said that all along. You know that what I've said there at Anfield. He was an appeasement. Meaning, are they just bought to balance the books, or are they bought to actually bring something to the squad? So far, Chiesa has brought zero. I've said it, and I'll say it again. He was bought as an appeasement for you, George, me, everyone at Steve, You Never Walk Alone, Peter May, and everybody. Dorothy Langman, Mary Stan, all of them.
We would have never got him. We would never have got him if he'd been 100% fit. Because he was going for about 60 million or something. So the fact we got him for 11 million proved to me that he was a crock. And he's proved to be a crock because he's hardly played. He's played 2 games, 2.5 games.
George, I said to you that he was. When we were about to sign him, I said, I watched Serie A. And, he's not that good now. He was a few years ago, but not now.
No, he's been injured too much. He's had too many injuries.
Exactly. How many times has he been here and not playing for the first team and he got injured in training or what? I don't know what he done. And Steve says, FSG have not offered new deals too. Yeah, they haven't.
No, we don't know what's going on there because nobody knows. Nobody's saying anything.
But whose fault is it, George?
Eh?
Whose
What's that?
fault?
Well, it's the club's fault for allowing it to happen. Your three greatest players in the team, the heartbeat of the team. I mean, to allow them to go running their contracts down for whatever reason, whether it started during Jurgen's reign or whether I don't know what happened, but I mean, it should never have been allowed to happen by the board. That situation should come up, and you're now a situation. I think that a lot depends on where we finish in the league. I think they'll hold the powder dry to the end of the season. They've no need to say anything, have they? They don't have to say anything because they signed a contract, and the contract says when it's up, you can leave. So as a player, you don't have to say anything. And if it's going to be a huge up, I can imagine the fan base, if things go wrong this year, and they leave, I mean, it's going to take some repairing.
Do you know who I blame? Richard Hughes. He's done absolutely nothing. He should have been sorting out. That should have been sorted. I don't care what anyone says. He should have sorted those things before the season started, by the way.
I don't know what the problem is, Frank. I mean, to me it seemed, it's not as simple, obviously, but I'm thinking, if they offered Mo 2 years plus an option of a year,
that's all.
At least the same money. At least the same money. Or I offered Virgil 2 years or 3 years, and Trent 5 years.
Yeah.
They couldn't be held accountable then if they get turned down. If they've offered them contracts and the boys say, I'm going, well, I'm afraid they're going to have to go because, Liverpool's bigger. That would be a tragedy.
Of course, and that's why I put this all on the shoes of Richard Hughes. I don't know what he's done, man.
Yeah, you're right.
They haven't a clue what he's done.
Yeah.
Haven't a clue. And I put solely on
Players hold all the cards these days.
Yeah, exactly. Peter Mason says, I think this for all football fans.
Yes, thank you.
Dennis Law, yes.
Thanks, Peter.
And the Anfield talking to Steve.
We're done.
The John definitely agree in that scenario. Yep.
That guy in Dad's army, we're all doomed.
Good points about Trent, Frank. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. At least someone agrees. And Steve says, Anfield were only 2 to 3 injuries away from giving another title away. And we've said it. Everton won. Liverpool.
Well done. The greatest cop out ever. Look at that one. That's what I like to hear. Good man.
That lad,
I'll see you at the parade.
See you at the parade.
And give me my subscription to the Firefox.
The outfield, Frank and George was doing some counting up, and since 2018-19 season to the last summer's window, we spent 323 million. In that time, 3 of those windows were net loss, 4 were profit. To summarise, we've spent. Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid I only did arithmetic at school. I was never into maths.
But as he says, we've spent.
Fuck off. I knew that was coming. Yeah.
We haven't.
No.
And I keep harping on about this, but it's just to give an example, George. When we signed Thiago, we never signed another midfield player for 4 years.
But we have signed 3 belters, haven't we? We've signed 3 belters.
Yes,
and Gravenberch, so we haven't not signed anybody.
Exactly. No. When we signed Thiago, we didn't sign another midfielder.
No, that's true.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. But we had to in the end because the likes of Fabinho, Henderson, Milner,
come on. Also, we've signed those 3 guys for silly money. Cheap. Szoboszlai and McAllister, between the three of them, probably don't come to 100 million.
Exactly.
Best three in the Premier League at the moment.
And Peter May says, I agree, Jota before Nunes, 100% fine.
Well done, yeah. Yeah, you could be right there.
And Steve says to the outfielder, what is our plan B if Kanate or Virgil or Mac or Ryan and Salah are out injured for 3 games?
Yeah, that's too... I don't know. Go on.
Well, that's it, this is concerning.
Yeah.
But, it's all opinions.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
what it is. It's all opinions.
The boys.
And that is a worry, though. That is a worry.
Injuries is a worry, without a shadow of a doubt. We just have to hope desperately that we don't get any of these key boys injured. It'd be a disaster if we do.
And Chris says, Maurice Stan, I agrees. I played centre-back or GM at youth and amateur level and later friendlies. Even then was often difficult alongside a new centre-back partner. Jarrell only has a few games, but with 3 different centre-back partners.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Kanate and Virgil have got a great partnership, see there, haven't they?
But what you've got to look at is that he hasn't proved himself. Whether he's playing alongside it, he's fumbled the ball, he's made mistakes.
Yeah, I still think them 2 mistakes he made, one at Old Trafford and one at Crystal Palace, when he gave the ball away on an goal, they affected him deeply, especially when Slot took him off.
Exactly.
And I think that really, he was on a good roll then. He was playing well, looked great.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that just took a little bit of his confidence away. Needs to build it back up now.
We've said that on numerous occasions, haven't we, though? He needs to build it up. Anyway, Leader Whiz Kid. Big up Frank and George and Chatters.
Hi, Lee.
And Dorothy says, I recently read a story where Dennis Law was at a game and the TV presenter was attempting to drag him away from a young lad. Yeah, and he said, excuse me, I'm signing this young man's autograph book. Go away.
Exactly.
Well, that's what kind of a fella he was.
He did that with me at the NEC. It was at a golf show, and he was demonstrating some golf clubs with John Masters golf clubs, and I was with one of my salespeople, and he was a big admirer of Dennis, this lad, and his biggest ambition was to meet him, and Dennis saw me, and he came over, and we were chatting, and these executives were shouting to him, Dennis, come on, we've got a schedule, and he said exactly the same thing. Go away, I'm talking to this lad. I'll be over when I'm ready. That summed him up.
Well, that's Dennis Law.
The lad was made up. Nicky's name was Nicky Gold. I got a photograph with him, which he treasures to this day.
Do you know what, though? He always has a great little smile and laugh. When he
like Siobhan. They were similar like that, weren't they? Yeah.
That's his personality.
Yeah. He was good. He was a good pundit as well, Dennis.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dino says, Nunes could be in... Dino, if you're still with us, don't forget, inbox me I've got to have your details, honestly, your email address, so just inbox me, please. Anyway, he says, Nunes could be included because of his ability to defend from corners. Won 3 to 4 headers against Spurs last week. The crap will be like the Luftwaffe with their aerial bombardment. Needs a bit of ice and someone prepared to fight for the share tomorrow. It's war against them. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, he had one of his best games last week against Spurs, I thought. He covered the ground. He worked his plums off. And he does do that, at least not. He does. He puts a heart and soul into it. You'll need that on Wednesday. You will need that from every player.
But he has done it, like a couple of games before as well. That's why he was picked against Spurs.
Yeah.
Or come on or whatever. And I couldn't agree more. That's a good point. Because we do need aerial power.
Yeah.
But I like Jota. I like him. Albeit he's short, but he's good in the air as well. He can half leap.
Yeah, you've got the 5, you've got the 7, you've got them 3 up front and 2 reserve, 2 in the bench, haven't you?
Yeah.
And the other 2, whoever it is, will be ready to come on. Diaz or Jota or Nunes, whoever.
And Snapey says, any football fan of a certain age would respect Dennis Law, a fabulous fella and a striker extraordinaire. Yes.
Yeah, it's all part of football's history.
Agrees Anfield Raw on the potential injuries. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't know, Steve, we're done. If we're done. I understand that. The Anfield Raw. It's concerning. I've been more surprised than ever in the fall-off between resting players in certain games than ever. Under Klopp, I felt he moulded a squad and worried with this situation.
Well, Jurgen was unique, wasn't he? To be honest, he won about 10 trophies.
Look, you've got to admit, as well as the sleuters do it, you've got to admit Klopp is head and shoulders above him. I'm afraid, I'm being honest. That's just my opinion.
Well, he's got the silverware on the table. He's got the silverware on the table, Frank.
Exactly.
Klopp got that silverware there. I've got a photograph with me and my son with 6 trophies I'm standing in front of 2 or 3 years ago, where they'd won everything, even the World Club Championship.
Exactly.
So come on, I mean, you can't compare Slot with Klopp at this stage.
No,
if he stays 7 years and wins 5 or 6 trophies, yeah, then I'll be prepared to say he's the man. But until then, he's got to prove himself.
Exactly.
No good being top of the league at Christmas if you win nothing. Arsenal's been doing that for years.
Yep. And winning nothing. Don't forget. And the Anfield, it's concerning. I've been more surprised. Yes, I've said that. Steve says, Zubamendi says yes to use FSG. When they had to pay 51 million, that 2-day delay at FSG asking for payments and structure, Zubamendi decided to stay and knows FSG ain't serious.
That's crazy, isn't it? Because what's 51 million to them? I mean, it's peanuts.
But it was what Hughes was say, look, Hughes, you've got to understand that Hughes is a man who wants to save money.
Oh, that's crazy.
And that, FSG, the owners love saving money. They do. They love saving anything.
Look at the money they're making, Frank, from this Champions League. The payments they're getting. It's a top in the whole country. The millions and millions of pounds for all the competitions they're winning in. The bank must be overflowing. It's got to be.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And they're made up with it because I know that they're going to sell sooner or later. And the better the books are balancing,
Make more profit at the end of the day. Yeah. Bigger investment.
It's as simple as
all owners, all they're interested in is money. They're not football people.
Yeah. Well, they can just turn around, George. If you're buying the club, you know about Liverpool, and you're going to do well for Liverpool if you're going to be a new owner. And they put the books in front of you and just say, look how well they do with just these squad of players, and we've got the academy there, and there's loads of players. It's a sell-on.
Selling on, yeah.
And you'll go, wow, look at this, and look what they've won, bring them around the little museum and saying, look at that, look at this, and oh, seen that over there, so that this is what it's like, the selling. And as long as those books, are brilliant.
I don't understand this financial fair play, Frank. I don't understand this financial fair play because Lex and Newcastle are owned by a big Arab country. They can't spend because they've got to keep within financial fair play. And yet Man City has spent over 100 million in January.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. Everton get fined 10 points for building a stadium effectively in transgression. Yeah. Notts Forest get fined, yet City don't get fined. I wish somebody could explain to me why they can spend all that money just by snap of the fingers.
Yeah.
I think there must be a good...
Lovely Dorothy says, Chiesa has played a couple of games where he did show good movements, and he's not really had much of a chance to establish. The thing is, you've got to bring in collectively the months that he's been here, and he's been injured.
Yeah, they're trying to get him.
He's been injured there, Dorothy. And he has his chances. And he was all right. He was all right against Accrington Stanley. Dare I say again, Accrington Stanley. He was all right against them and actually scored. So everybody was made up. He played against PSV. He ended up getting beat.
He had a pretty good game that day, though. But Chiesa is a bit like Thiago, isn't he? Talented player, but never going to be fit every game.
Well, that's it. He's not going to be fit. He's not going to be fit every game. We need players that, can go through a season, all right, have a little injury or two, but not be out for it. We've had him since August, September.
Yeah, he should be match fit now, shouldn't he? Really training. Should be up to 90 minutes match fit.
Well up there. And he should have played a lot more for Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I mean, starting a game now and again. But anyway, Edward says Chiesa has regressed since Euro 21. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Totally agree with you there. And for George, wonderful fella, Dennis Law. My dad and his dad were brought near and around Dennis area. Always said a great man.
Yeah.
That's nice.
He was lovely, lovely man. No doubt about that. Thank you.
And Edward says, can't see saying anything till the end of the season. It will cause murder if he did. That's use, he said. Karate has turned down FSG lowball offer of a new deal. FSG don't improve it. FSG selling Karate this summer. Says Steve. I can see it falling apart if all three leave. Jota and Nunes will probably go as well. And we need a left back. I think Enzo will go as well. Enzo will definitely go.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think Enzo will go.
And the Anfield Road. Edwards, I don't know how a fella at 27 years of age can be finished. But then you've got Dele Alli. What is a supposed club like us buying him? Like George and Frankie say, Chiesa is shot to bits. Use here. See, he might have been all right for Bournemouth. And this is what people can't understand. We are Liverpool. Those three words, we are Liverpool. We're not Bournemouth or anybody else. That's the way I look at it. John Barnes said last week that Virgil needs to be offered 1 year deals only. I'm not interested in what he says. I'm being honest.
Crazy. That's crazy. I mean, he's the fittest man in the club, Salah.
I'm not interested in what Barnes says, to be honest. After reviewing the summer, I don't like talking about him, I'm being honest. That's me, though. I survived Hillsborough, and it's painful. I can't sing You Never Walk Alone because I look at the 97. 97 come before me, the number 97, and it choked me. I can't even get the first three words out. Anyway, so I don't like talking about them. Anyway, Steve says, Dino, you're moaning about going out to Plymouth, and then you're saying we're only 3 to 4 players getting injured from losing another league. Imagine we play Virgil or Salah on Sunday, and either of them get a hamstring injury. I guarantee you'd be saying, why was he playing against them? Slot is damned if he does not, if he does, and damned if he doesn't. But it's again, it's all opinions. But as George agrees with me, lots of other people agrees with me, Dino.
I don't think you said, Frank, that we should play them. You said we should bring them down there, and they should be ready to come on if they're needed. 3 or 4 of them. That's what you said, really. But I agree with some part of what Dino's saying. He is damned if he does, and he is damned if he doesn't. In that sense, I mean, it's a difficult decision, this game against Everton, and who he'd play and who he didn't. But I think he should have just played, maybe took another 2 or 3 down with him to give us a bit more of a chance to stay in the
George?
I didn't want to go out the competition.
But here's what I said. I didn't want to go out of it. Here's what I said. I said, players who are playing like the Argyle players, they looked at the bench and they must have known that Curtis Jones was injured. They must have filtered through. They got no one on the bench. So that's looked at them. Just imagine if the likes of Virgil, Mo, Szoboszlai was on the bench. You know what I mean? That frightened them. Look at these. These are come on.
Well, that's what Klopp did. Didn't leave them all out, did he? Klopp used to have a reasonable scattering of the big players on the bench in these games. You know, he didn't just decimate it and say, right, have a rest, go to bed back home, go and have a curry or something, and let these young kids come out and play for the FA Cup. Klopp didn't do that. Klopp had a bit of backup there. I do agree with that.
Always had a backup. Yeah. Always had a backup, because that was affected Argyle players to see at least 4 top, players sitting on the bench. They'd be saying they'll come on.
But Dean's right. The big game is Wednesday, without a doubt. That's a big game. That's the one that counts.
But we can't keep saying that, though.
No,
we can't keep saying. We can't keep making excuses about going out the FA Cup. We can't.
Against a team like
this clapper. It's just crap to me, to be honest. Steve says, Frank, FSG only signed Mac, Dom and Ryan because we finished outside the top 4 to get back into the Champions League.
I don't care how they signed them.
Because the other lot were finished.
I'm glad they did spin them. Fantastic players.
George, do you fancy polishing your boots for tomorrow?
Yeah, I've still got them. I love the white hot heat at Goodison. Playing a few reserve team derbies, they were always hot stuff, even at that level. At Goodison, last one I played them, we beat them 3-0. So I hope that the boys can do that tomorrow.
And Sleepy says, Quansar isn't the answer as a paired centre back. He's not up to it. There you go. And Peter says, Frank, can you peel the oranges?
Used to get oranges at half time in football, didn't you? That was always the thing. Yeah. Big bag of oranges, yeah.
Let's see who's texted me. Dino. Oh, brilliant, Dean. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, I still think we've got to show our class tomorrow. Play our football where we can. It'll be a big fight, but we've got more skill than them. We've got more pace than them. Certainly more firing power up front. If you look at the Everton record this year, I mean, Bournemouth beat them 2-0 just last week. And they're not really, and they've won the last 3 games, but they've not really played any of the big. Who did they beat? They beat, was it Ipswich or Leicester, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They've not beat the Arsenal or the Spurs. They drew with them, I think. So, they're not picking. They'll be up for it with a fight, but I would think we'll beat them with the skill, hopefully, and pace up front. Keep it tight at the back.
We've got to. But as Steve says, we play our game tomorrow, we win. We get into the Everton game of hustle and bustle and physical style of footy. Long night for us. That's what they are. They're a very physical side. And they're still battling relegation.
Yeah.
They're still battling, and they'll want to stay, especially with going into the...
If we can get Mo into the penalty box, we could get a penalty, I'll tell you, because that centre-half gave a penalty away against Bournemouth with a bad tackle. So if they're going to get stuck in, we might even get one of them sent off. You've got to be careful.
I agree. I agree.
Not like the old days when you can just kick people, touch somebody, now you're off.
Well, the Anfield Roar says we will. Well, it's what Mary Stan said before, though, George. Let's hope for a good referee.
Yes, keep control. Who is referee? I don't know. I wonder who's refereeing.
Haven't a clue. The Anfield Roar says we will beat Everton 3-2. I sense a mad game oncoming. If truth be told, I want the league over everything. I know I said FA Cup and others count, but the 20th title is my desire. It matters most. We all agree. Everyone agrees. Every single
Liverpool fan agrees.
Every fan.
Maybe
Every fan wants this. And the King. We don't want to stop progression of McConnell and Naoni. That's what the club will say this summer, so they don't have to invest. You're right.
McConnell and Naoni are not going to win us the Premier League, let's be honest.
I made up what the King said, what the King said, opportunistic, and that's what that news came out with as soon as he signed, on the dotted line for Liverpool as our football director. We're looking at opportunistic.
Yeah.
That sickened me, that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that, King. Opportunistic signings only. And I agree with him, because that's what we've done forever by saying, look at, I don't think Naoni's going to be, I really don't. I'm saying that now.
Yeah, unless he matures and builds up a bit, he's too weak, too light at the moment.
I think he's got that physicality of being like that. You've only got to look at Quansah. Look at Quansah, he's a big lad and he's filling out. You know what I mean? But you look at Naoni, God blimey, he's like that.
Well, you look at Stevie Gerrard at the same age, he broke in the first team, and look at the difference. He was doing things, making things happen, scoring goals. Naoni's not doing anything really. No. I don't want to, say anything against the lad. He's a keen young lad. He's got talent. But
might be all right for the under-18s and the under-20. He might be all right for them.
And they're not doing too well at the moment, by the way. The under-21s, under-18s are losing a few games, I noticed.
I know they are. I've been watching them. And, there's nothing there for me. And when that lad came on, honestly, I said, this lad is awful. I've seen him. And this is the look, when I came on after the game, I said, this proves the squad depth. We haven't got it.
Yeah.
That's what I said, George. And this is what it...
Well, the ones that are good in the academy have all gone. They've all been on loan. You've got Kumas has gone to Stoke and scoring goals for them. You've got Dans has gone to Sunderland. You've got Doak's gone to Middlesbrough, scoring goals for them. Had a great reputation this year. It's worth 30 million now, apparently. And we sold Chase for 11 million. And get rid of Doak to Middlesbrough, who's worth 30 million.
Yeah. That's what I mean about young Joe. He's tearing up, the championship.
Send Chase to Middlesbrough. Send Chase up to Middlesbrough and bring Doug back here.
Exactly. Chiesa. Get injured.
Oh, the ears must be burning, right? The ears must be burning.
But, look, with my Italian roots anyway, I would have loved him to have been, if we brought in an Italian, I'd have been made, But I knew, and I said it.
Yeah, he did.
When he was coming on, when we were about to sign, I said, no. It's another Italian, that we've signed, and this is what it'll be. We don't want more Italians. Look at Chiesa, look at Berini, everybody else, Quansah is fourth choice, says Steve. Still not good enough. We needed a quality third choice centre back last summer in Houston, and make Gomez fourth choice and loan out Quansah. Good shout. But I think Joe will go in the summer.
Yeah, he's starting to get injuries now, isn't he? He's starting to pick him up.
Tenacity is paramount against Everton, says Snapey. For all Nunez's deficiencies in front of goal, nobody doubts his commitment to the cause.
No, that's right.
Good show. Very good show. Dorothy, if Slot pulls off the Premiership this year, the city will go mental.
Of course it will. Of course it will. There'll be fireworks all over the place.
And the Anfield, watching Everton, I hope Gakpo targets Tarkovsky. He is their weak link, but people suggesting these will be tougher than Bournemouth away. I don't effing think so. I'm glad you said effing.
Yeah.
Instead of the way. I'm going there. Oh, he's going. I'm going there. Here's my effing draw. Yeah, he's going.
Well, get your voice. Give him some backing like the boys do.
And he carries on with. I do hope Frank and George. It is still Klopp's brains and genius to have moulded this team. Plaudits, I feel, are his. It is FSG that broke Klopp by not being proper owners. I won't forgive that. Neither will I. Neither will maybe.
There's a Netflix documentary coming out on the 27th of February, isn't there? About Liverpool in behind the scenes. That'll be interesting. Jurgen didn't want to do it.
No.
FSG did it for the money, I would imagine.
Of course they did, yeah. Absolutely. That's what that's why they're there, you know, they're making money. They're not interested in the city. They're not interested in you or me. I told you about when I was with Ian St. John.
Yeah, you did.
Finished with,
who's he?
You know, it was shocking, George. You know, I was saying to Henry,
who's he?
Man there at the bar. There was only the Saint standing there. There was another fellow way up. You know, so he knew where I was pointing at. I said, he's a legend, a big Liverpool legend. And, you know, I said, the kids in Borneo would know about him.
Yeah.
And he went, and he's looking over. And I was like that. And he thought I was calling him over, you know, the seat. And he walked over and he shook hands with him. And he went, and who are you? You know, to the Saint.
I can imagine what Ian must have thought.
Who he is. I'd love the Saint to be allowed to come on and just say what I said. Because
if he'd have done his due diligence, he would have known who Ian Saint. He'd have known the history.
Of course. He doesn't know anybody.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anybody. And Steve, you never walk alone, says LFC under FSG are the only club in the world football who have sold and released loads of players in the summer and not replaced them. But the club's wages have gone up 40 million. What's going on?
Wow. Good question.
I'd put an offer to buy Liverpool, Frank, but I've only got 30 quid in the wallet.
I'll pay 50.
Peter's a great shit. Peter, you'll have to go out busted, mate. You'll have to go out.
He's got a great name. I used to be an England cricket captain, didn't he? Peter May, remember him? Years ago.
And Steve says today, I'm happy we're out of the FA Cup.
I know why he's saying that. But nobody can be happy without. But I know the reasons. I know why it's valid in a way. Yeah.
Dorothy says, I'll put a 15-year-old and hope for the hat-trick with 10 minutes to go. Dorothy. And Frank and George, my cousin took 15 hours total journey time to get back from Plymouth game. I'll get him on to talk about Elliot and a lot of others not coming over to applaud that happened.
Well, if that's true, it's a disgrace. I didn't know that. I didn't see it. But if that's true, I'd be very surprised. But if it is, then, you know, they should apologise because those boys travelled a long, long way, you know, a long way to watch that. And I felt sorry for them. You know a lot of people that went down there, Frank, and I do. And they go every game. Whatever we play, they go.
Europe and everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You know, people don't realise. People do not realise about our. I praise our away fans.
The money they spend to go, that's unbelievable.
And I said it in the pre-match as well. Our fans are going down there. They're there now. You know what I mean? The best fans in the world.
You
and
can
they
hear
don't realise when people are coming out and saying, "Oh, I'm not worried they went out of the FA Cup." And
Yeah,
that's
but the guys
sickening,
that
mate.
travelled all
They're
the way
not,
down
they're
to
not thinking of the lads who were down there and the girls who were down there. And in Europe as well. Oh, you know, I'm not bothered about the Champions League. I am. I'm about every game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every game for those lads and girls. And myself, by the way. I'm a very proud Scouser. I'm a very proud Liverpool fan.
Absolutely.
You know,
I would imagine Paul Shankly saying, "I'm glad we're out of the FA Cup."
Exactly.
He'd be turning his grave.
Shankly changed the old team, well, more or less, didn't he? When we went out the FA Cup, that's what it meant to him.
Yeah, I used to say it was the greatest thing for any footballer to tread Wembley Stadium, to be down there playing it. It was and in my day, it was every footballer's dream. My days years ago, of course, and it's different now. But it's sad. It's still sad that, I think players still love to get there on that day. Can you imagine at Wembley on that day this year? Those 22 players will be strutting out their proudest punch to represent their club at Wembley. And if they win it, great. The name's in history books forever. It's still a huge competition. Just the FA has devalued it by no replays. It's all because of the extra time on the players. I understand that, too many games and all that. But
we've won lots of.
Don't disrespect it.
We've won lots of FA Cups since the first one in '65.
Yeah.
65. Yeah. You know, I was down. I was there.
Yeah, I was on it.
It was unbelievable.
Look at when we came back. Look when we came back.
Look at Jerry Bear, haven't you?
Crowds in Water Street.
Played the full. He went through first few minutes. He was injured. First 10 minutes, I think. Bobby Collins.
Yeah, there was no negativity with those fans. They just loved everything we did and supported us through thick and thin.
That's what it means. But unfortunately, Ferguson undermined it going back when he said, I'm not playing, and that was it.
He started putting reserve teams out. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Thought he was too big for the competition.
Exactly. They were too big. Exactly. Now they're too little. Anyway, the Anfield Frank and Joe. Yeah, I'd have your cousin on, to be honest, Anfield. I would. To talk about the away fans and what the lads are all. I love them and the girls, I really do. They make us so proud.
I've just had a message, Frank. I know we don't like speaking about other games, but Madrid's beat City 3-2.
Did they beat them?
At the Emirates, yeah, 3-2 in the first leg. So the better luck, you might see them out of the competition. That would be better for us.
Yeah. Well, that's it then, isn't it? They're not going to go to...
You do well to win in Madrid.
Was that at the Etihad?
At the Etihad.
That's it there, because they're not going to go over to the Bernabeu and beat them. There's
be surprised.
No way.
The crowd over there and Real Madrid at home. Yeah.
No way. And Dorothy says, you can hit them on the head when they get near the goal, George. Mark Simon.
Jump quite high these days, to be honest. No, 6'2".
Mark Simons, he says, Madrid just look like an average side. Honestly, Bournemouth give you a tougher game. And that's what
we beat Madrid. We beat Madrid 2-0, didn't we? We beat them.
Yeah. Mark lives in... Mark actually lives in Gibraltar.
Lovely.
And give Gibraltar back, as I say, to the Spanish. So I'm locked. Anyway, Mark Simons, Madrid just look like an average EPL side. Honestly, Bournemouth give you a tougher game. He's a red, by the way, is Mark. Anfield. Frank and George, like Shackleton's failed expedition, is the key to all our efforts to the end of the season. Endurance. Oh, a bit of historical significance there. Also, it is true, Frank and George, you both had your 21st birthday of both. On the endurance side, yeah.
I got more chance of doing that. No, I'm afraid I wasn't born.
We are the Everton haters. That's what Dino's saying. The referee is the man in black, George.
Yeah, I know that, Dean, but what's his name? Who is it? I was asking. It'd be interesting to see who's refereeing. It's a huge task for the referee, I'll tell you.
They'll tell us. Hard to scope for yourselves. Can't imagine modern day playing in leather boots or heading a Casey with laces. Imagine Billy and Dixie playing in today's gear.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but it's still been brilliant in today's, if they were fit, if they had the training, the pitches and the conditions.
And Peter says, we've got to play the same game against Everton as we did Spurs in the Caribou. Yet we have. Good shot. Dean, you're red carded for there, mate.
You Dorothy's red carding him.
And the outfield. If he to sanitize, you should have knocked him out.
The Saint, he's talking about the Saint.
Yeah. No, he did. He said who he and who he is. And he's got a handshake, like, honestly, like a wet fish.
Limp. I hate that.
Oh, shocking. And that other little fella, what's his name, Wayne, he was with him.
Yeah.
But he wasn't standing with us. He was sitting there. John, your steak's ready. And I thought, and the Saints, just looked at me, when we went back over to the bar, and, we looked at each other and shook our heads, just
I think Jurgen had a problem with him because his wife, remember when he left, the day he left, his wife wasn't really, she wasn't really involved.
She turned her back.
Yeah.
She turned her back.
Yeah.
And I was made up she did that. She turned her back on me. Because I know Jurgen wanted her to go up with him.
Yeah, because he was a gentleman. Yeah. That showed something to me, that.
Dino saying, as we sang around Goodison Park, crying blues all in an arc, they are probably crying still at Liverpool 5, Everton 0. I like that.
Rush scored 4. That was brilliant.
That was brilliant. I bet Franco fights like Rocky Marciano. Oh. In the day, I suppose. I
got sent off once for punching a guy in the nose.
Did you?
Yeah, he spat in my face. A Greek lad, he spat in my face, and I automatically just chinned him. And I ended up being suspended for a week. He got suspended for a month and fined £100. It was a lot of money in those days. That was in South Africa.
Do you know what, George?
3,000 police dogs on the pitch and all sorts.
Do you know what my grandmother said to me once? It was about 18, I think. And she said to me, no matter how angry you are, never spit in the face of anyone.
That's right. Well, that's what happened to me. I couldn't. I think everybody would have done the same.
Well, remember all the, 100% of Liverpool fans after Doof did that. That was it with him.
That's right. Yes, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. That was him finished.
Do you remember what? I think it was a Celtic fan, by the way.
Yes.
Still a Celtic fan when we were playing them. Anyway, but he not did it. He did it twice. And I always remember Houllier the next day saying it was their culture. And I went, I was fuming when he said that.
Yeah.
Fuming.
Lack of class, that's what it is.
Culture. No one's got a culture of spitting.
No.
Nobody. Shocking what he said.
I remember it happened in a World Cup once and the Dutch guy got spat on.
Yeah. It's just Anyway.
No excuse. Disgusting.
Snapey says, good night, one and all. Take care, everyone. And here's to the vanquishing the Blues as a farewell to good.
Yeah, good night, Snapey. All the best, mate. You're a cracker.
And IBR says the Anfield. That would have been fantastic. And the sake giving him a volley in the left temple. Souness would have given him one of his 50-50s. That's fair. It's Oliver. It's Michael Oliver.
Oh God! Well, going to be a big one for him. Gee whiz, yeah. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. Big test.
I'm going to let you go after these two comments, George.
McCoke's waiting on Frank. Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah.
And I'm going myself.
Yeah.
I'll
tell her to get the Coco on.
Yeah, absolutely. And even Dino says Michael Oliver. I've got your thing, Dino. I've got you there. So we'll be in touch, mate. We'll be in touch. I might be the weekend game. I might have you on pre-match.
Playing
But I'm not having a pre-match.
Wolves at Anfield. Yeah.
Yeah. But I might say I'm not having a pre-match tomorrow. I'm having a post-match. And I just want to get right through it. So I'll have you on the weekend. I'll have you Thursday. Hang on, I don't know where I am. It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Tuesday,
Gino, I'll be in touch when you're come on, mate. But I'll have you on this week sometime, okay? Peter says, the last time I put my Sandico boots on, I ended up in A&E with a bag of frozen peas on a pulled tie.
That's a great comments, aren't they? So funny.
Unbelievable. They're all bad. I will say about Souness, he wasn't a great manager, but he knows his areas of how the best teams being success. Midfield.
A great midfield player.
Absolutely.
Fantastic player.
We always look at that, the Liverpool Jabby. Hey, Jens, how's it going? We're nearly finished.
You should have been here earlier. You'd have been getting involved.
He's been watching the Man City and
the City. I think Notts Forest were playing Exeter as well. I don't know how that happened. Don't know what happened there.
Notts Forest and Exeter.
Now imagine Exeter beating them. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Exactly, but I doubt it. Anyway, Dean says, night Frank and George, up the Reds.
Yeah, up the Reds, Dean. Good lad.
I'll be in touch, mate. And Dino says, I'm at the match, mate. So he's going the game tomorrow.
Brilliant.
As I said, I might have you on when are we playing, Saturday or Sunday?
I think it's Sunday. Okay. Boys will correct us if it's wrong. I think it's Sunday.
It says Sunday. I'll have you on Sunday. Pre-match. Is that all right, Dino?
Yeah, prices.
Did you hear about the prices for the Carabao Cup final? It's a disgrace, says the Liverpool Jabba.
Yeah, people are desperate for tickets, aren't they? Desperate for tickets. Pay anything.
Shocking. Night, folks. Peter, mate. Thanks for the great night. Enjoy the match tomorrow. Thank you,
Same
Peter. It's great to have you here with us. Honestly, it really is. And Arthur Schofield laughs and says, if the man in black is the referee, we're definitely on a winner. Johnny Cash, ring of fire. I like that. See, they're all watching. Look, 850, cheapest 950 alongside the upper 1,050. Short, low out, 1,200. Oh, absolutely ridiculous.
It really is. Shocking.
That's shocking, that.
Imagine you take your son or your
1,600
plus you're travelling, plus anything else. Yeah.
Did you know I've got cataracts?
No. Have you got cataracts?
Yeah, I went the opticians last week. I had to go because I've been getting terrible headaches.
Both eyes?
Both eyes, yeah.
You have to wear dark glasses.
Yeah, that's what. Funny enough, I'm getting them tomorrow, and I'm getting reading glasses as well because my eyesight's going. I'm losing letters. When I'm reading,
Yeah.
and that's why Snapey comes on and does. And I'm looking at, I'm losing letters, so I don't know what it's actually saying.
Well, can you get them done, Frank? You could have an operation on them, can't you, to sort them?
Well, I don't know because I've got to see him again in 6 months. He's given me this type of card, and he says, "Look at the dot, and if any of them's wavy, get right back to me." He said.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Get it
but
sorted.
I've got these sunglasses.
So going to be like the Blues Brothers. I'll wait. Next time I'm on next week, I'll put a pair on, and we can be like the Blues Brothers.
But that's what he said. He said, "Just
laugh, really,
you'll be okay." George, I'll let you go, mate. And,
okay, Frankie. All right, Frankie. Yeah. Right. Well, I
don't know.
Whenever
you come on. Whenever
I
you
might
come
pop in for an hour, but I don't know. It depends what goes on. But I'll definitely be down next Tuesday.
No problem. Okay.
I'll come on every Tuesday and try and come on. And then if you've got any, things happening later on during the day, I'm usually pretty free during the day.
Will do.
Later on. Anyway, thanks, Frank. Thanks, chat. Thanks, boys. It's a big game tomorrow. Big game. So let's go and win it. Yeah. Look forward to seeing it tomorrow. And a good win. Cheers now, boys. Good night. God bless everybody.
Good night, George. Good night. What a fella. Dino. Up the Reds, mate. Yes. Bill Clopper statue. Yeah, I was watching the City game too. How was your day being? Behave yourself. How was my day being? And he kept on. The game was amazing, to be fair. Another Real Madrid league comeback. They are just different in that competition. It's in their DNA. Sunday, says Dino. Yeah, the game Sunday. And he says I'm at the match on Sunday. I'll have you on though sometime. All right, so don't be worrying. I'll have you on. I'll have you on next week sometime. Might have you on with George. If we're not playing next Tuesday. Dino. Anyway, the Anfield Road. Rest easy, George. Enjoy your cocoa, lad. I hope you forgive me. Endurance comment. You're always a legend to us. I wish I would have read. See you, lads. Up the red men. Turn the city red as usual, says Copite, the famous Callum. I'm at the match Sunday, mate. Season ticket up. Yes, of course. Of course, Dino. Night, lads and lasses. Frank and George. Enjoy the cocoa, boy. Thank you. Thank you, Dorothy. Great to, honestly, Dorothy, I made up when I see you. I really am. Really am. Another banging show from the two legends, says IBR. Thank you. Liverpool's Yabby, tell me about the tears. I'm in my same... Yeah, stop it. Did you see Fabrizio Romano confirmed El Nasser, the Saudi club, bid €85 for Darwin in January, but we rejected it as we couldn't find a replacement? No, I didn't know that. You never were. Pak Ungchan, 11 would have been better. Or is that 1-1? Not quite so sure. Not quite so sure. Would you have sold them for 85 last month, or was it the right decision? It depends, It depends. Because as Dino, up the rights. All the best, Georgino. Hashtag the Red Brothers. We're all red brothers and sisters, Dorothy. Honestly. Anfield Road. Frank's cataracts go down, but he still have a 20/20 vision whenever. It shocked me actually when they said, "We're gonna go blind." He said, "You know, you might have to wear sunglasses. That's why if you see me sometimes, take your glasses off. My eyes are killing me, just to relieve them. So I might have to wear my sunglasses at some point. So if you see me, I'm not posing at it. Please, I'm not like the on-field. I read the Wizkid says, "Night George," the on-field says, "Night George. Good night, chaps. Take care," says Arthur Scope. "Good night, Arthur. Glad you joined us." Be honoured, mate. Yeah, absolutely. You'll be on. You'll be here next week. Me and George. I'll make sure, Dino. Me and George. Or George and I. Frank, what happened to the Irishman who used to be on the channel, says the football? Don't know. Don't know what happened to him. Have to look for them. And the flashback carries on by saying, "Would you start Darwin tomorrow against Everton?" I like Jota against Everton because he seems to score against them. Well, one way or the other, Darwin will play. Whether he starts or whether he comes on. And I think the same for Jota as well. That's the only thing I can say, Flash. The outfield answering their football flashback. He was dealt with by or of the Carlyle blind. You don't see me yet, have you? I wear one of them as well. The peakies. How did your day go, Frank? Is your back feeling better? No, that's why I'm bunched up now. To be honest, Bill. And I just watched this scary tale. I've seen it. About a young girl. That was weird, that wasn't it? That was weird, Pearl. You know, a nice little young girl. Yes. And Builder says, "There's an 8-minute monologue there. That's amazing." But right, boys and girls, I'm going. Made up, you know, that is what you have done for me and George tonight being with us. Just want to thank this lorry, and it's Gap Painting Services. There's the number there. If you're elderly, you'll get special discounts. If you work for the NHS, you get special discounts. But even if you don't fit in the categories, believe me, they're very reasonable, honestly. And that's Gap Painting Services. Please, please, please don't struggle. Get these lads in. They're fully insured, fully time served, and there's 5-star customer ratings. So you can ask for the, references or anything, and they'll give you it. They're brilliant. Please get them in. Don't struggle. Don't struggle. Leader Wizkid. Night, Frank. Night, Lee. The Anfield. Night, Frankie, you know. As always, it's another cracking show. Get some rest, lad. Tomorrow does something to us. Oh, it takes a lot of us. It takes a lot out of us, this game. Sleep well, Liverpool brothers and sisters. That's lovely. That's a lovely comment, though. Anfield. It really is. Don't forget, I've got a post-match tomorrow as well. And the Anfield. Lee Wiskid, night lads. Night law, mate. Mark Shines, all the way over there in Gibraltar. Give it back to the Spanish. Good night, Frank, from sunny Gibraltar. Sunny Gibraltar. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. And it's Shiva Diyama, Wadamani, Amici mio, bellissimo. Ciao.